Oh, hello, Mr. Listener. You're listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily with me, Julius Reed. And here is the theme tune. The theme tune! Keeping it sexy on the show, you know, we're all about that sex appeal, especially goat sex appeal. That's a dolphin! Of course, you know, I reckon I'd like to see some dolphin on goat action. You know what I mean? Like get some of those flippers sort of going, you know, the hoof over the flipper. Yes. So that was disturbing. But you know what's not disturbing? The checkup! The checkup! Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Oh, who's calling? It's Dr. Reed, Daddy Dr. Reed, coming to check up on you, the weird porn addict person. That's right, you're a sicko. So that was me belittling you, which, you know, I like to do on occasion. You know, just sort of mixes things up, you know, help you and then sort of stab you in the back. So yeah, the checkup. How are you doing with life? Life, of course, the almighty giver, which is having a body and a penis and stuff, and a vagina, if you're one of those, you know, weird specimens who, you know, never returns my calls. What's with girls? So how are you coping? Have you been happy, sad, depressed? Maybe a bit manic? Of course, you know what helps with that? Obviously heroin, because it really mellows you out. But, you know, some of us can't afford heroin, which is why a daily meditation is so important. Really helps align you with your chakra or whatever bullcrap that, you know, I'm selling on the website. You can buy 10 chakra for $1, or you can buy them in a bundle. Some reason costs more in the bundle, but, you know, marketing wasn't my strong suit. Yeah, so meditating every day is very important for remaining calm and aware and maintaining that mental balance. I tell you what, the moment you lose that, you end up like me, crazy gun victim. Oh, killing children. Oh, yeah, that's hot. So yeah, you don't want to end up like that. You want to be more like, you know, like a cool dude. That's not the sound effect. Yeah, that's right. Winning life, one cheer at a time. Yes, that's right. Can we go for 3? Go for 3. The viewer mail. Yes, we got 3. We got 3 in a row. Let's see if we can get 4. No, all right. The kids ruined it. And we're going to kill them. Sorry, children. You know, I didn't mean to blow you all up, but you were all sort of like in a tight spot. So I thought if I use a gun, you know, it would be sort of, you know, it's a waste of bullets. If I just use an explosion, sort of get all 20 of you. Yeah, so obviously don't kill kids. Meditation, important. Exercise, also very important. Exercise is what keeps your body in tip-top shape. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Actually, imagine never moving ever. Would you just disintegrate? I have no idea. But yeah, you'd probably disintegrate. You know, there's nothing sexy about a disintegrated cock. That's a fact. Calmness, awareness, obviously important. And what are you going to do differently? Something for you to think about during your day. What have you going to do differently? You know what I mean? Huh? That was my retarded Italian impersonation of sort of like I had the lisp thing going. It wasn't really a lisp, but you know, we got through it. So yeah, I hope that was a helpful checking up on you, for you to think about yourself. Obviously, not like in a touching yourself kind of way, but you know, to think more broadly about who you want to be and how you want to get there. Obviously, with a solid mental health is how you get there, or how I recommend getting there at least. Of course, you can be, you know, sort of like Hitler, a bit crazy, but still achieving great things for society. So that was the checkup. And here's the topic. Today's topic is porn bad for you? That's the topic. Is porn bad for you? It's a question that maybe it's something you're thinking about. Well, guess what? We're discussing it anyway. You know, this question, I would say, is probably a bit of a misnomer. In the context of recovery, there is no good or bad. So, you know, porn isn't necessarily bad or good. Basically, part of the reason why I think it's a misnomer is because your addict brain simply doesn't care about what's good or bad. It simply desires and craves. So even if we call it good or bad, or identify it as something evil or, you know, something magnificent, it really makes no difference. And that's kind of this whole idea of like, you know, putting labels on things is just sort of pointless. Relapse is a good example of this. You know, relapse is just a label. Everyone's like trying to define relapse. It's like, oh, well, you know, if I watched porn for 10 years and only came twice, does that count as relapse? It's like, stop trying to define boundaries and let's focus on things that will help you recover. How I think of it is that, well, if it's not helping you recover, then it serves no purpose in your recovery. So, for example, watching porn is a great example of that. Whether it's relapse or not, whether it's good or bad or not, it doesn't assist you in your recovery. So it's simply not needed. So back to this original question, is it good or bad? Deciding whether porn is good or bad is also a very individual thing. And the reason why it's individual, or why it's important that it must be individual, is because it's about you coming to that conclusion of whether you want porn in your life or not. So is porn good or bad? Let's think of it in terms of recovery. Recovery is all about healthy coping mechanisms and unhealthy coping mechanisms. Well, it's actually about healthy coping mechanisms, but that's the other side to it. So it's about you deciding whether you think that porn use is a healthy coping mechanism or an unhealthy coping mechanism. And when it comes back to this whole idea of the individual opinion of what it is, so it's about you deciding, well, when you use porn, how does it make you feel? How does it affect your life? If you're using porn and, it makes you anxious, it makes you feel guilt, shame, all these things, then, the obvious conclusion is that it is unhealthy, but it's about you coming to that conclusion. And it's really important because that's what recovery is to a large extent. It's about developing the awareness to change your behaviors. It's not like, I can tell you that, okay, listen, you need to do these things, but if you don't understand why, and if you don't understand the significance that it has to your own life and your own recovery, it's not going to make sense. That's why it's important for you to come to the conclusion of, okay, so porn is bad because it makes me feel X, Y, and Z. And it's part of the reason why, these labels, as I was saying, good and bad don't make a difference. An approach that people take towards recovery, which I don't agree with personally, is people are like, well, I need to find out like the scientific reasons why porn is bad or why masturbation is bad. And it's like, that's not going to help you recover. You know it's bad. Like, you know it's bad. Knowing why it's justifying or rationalizing, as I like to call it, why it's bad isn't going to help you actually stop. You already know it's bad. And this comes back to this whole idea of rationalization. And in my opinion, rationalization is an unhealthy coping mechanism because you just rationalize, but you don't actually get anywhere. It's like smoking. Smokers know that it's really bad for them, but that's not affecting their decision to stop. It's only when you figure out, mental balance and you figure out how to stop easily is when you'll actually stop. And that's my point of view, is that if you can figure out how to stop easily, you will stop. Because it's a no-brainer. If you know how to do it, well, then of course you're going to do it, especially if you're stopping something that is causing you harm and suffering. That's my spiel. It's my spiel. It's up to you to decide whether it's good or bad. And even then, it's not so much good or bad. It's about understanding how it affects you in a negative or positive way. And then from there, you can decide, well, maybe I don't want to watch porn. Maybe I do. It's a very individual thing. An example, which I don't necessarily agree with, is, some people, they just stop watching porn, but they still masturbate anyway. And that helps them get off porn. I would argue that it makes it harder. But everyone's got a different idea. But you're listening to the Daily, which is my idea. I'm crazy. I'm going to kill your parents. So I'm not actually going to. I was just joking. It's a joke. That was supposed to be like building up. So it's for you to decide. It also doesn't. It's also not helpful. Don't think in terms of labels. Think in terms of recovery process. What you can do to help your recovery, and of course, meditation is so important for that. Which brings us to the viewer mail. The viewer mail. Yeah. Today's viewer mail comes from Andrew Cox, which I think we had an Andrew before. I don't know if it was Andrew Roberts, I think was before, but I don't remember. I'm just a weird Asian boy. What is wrong with me? The viewer mail comes from Andrew Cox from Paramaribo, Suriname. Is that a place? Clearly it's a place. I wrote it down, but is that a place? It makes no sense. That's a failed place. Sorry if you're from there. It's obviously offensive. It says, Andrew says, hey, Julius, my brother from another mother, high five. That's me slapping my wrist, sounding like a high five, which is good enough for the show. Andrew said, my brother from another mother, how do I increase my girth? Well, Andrew, you're in for a real treat today because I'm here to answer your question. It's a different podcast, I just realized. So yeah, how do I increase my girth? Well, Andrew, as a man of girth, I have a lot of perspective to answer this question. Short answer: mostly steroids and filler. If you want to have that meaty trunk, as I know women are, that's a SEO search term for women's porn. Meaty trunk. Yeah, that's what I like. Meaty trunk. But no, girth is all about attitude, my friend. That's what girth's about. You can literally feel another man's girth just by listening to the way he speaks. And as you can tell, I'm literally projecting girth into your mouth. Like there's no tomorrow, based on how sexy my voice is. Yeah, sexy. Bow chicka wow wow, read. I also use a penis pump at least twice a day just to ensure that I dominate in both my online and girth life. Girth life for the win. Hashtag girth life. Are you living your best girth life on the show? Of course, maybe you can't afford filler. Then I recommend any kind of plant-based protein. Nothing quite like injecting banana pulp into your penis at 3 a.m. because you're worried about how others will perceive you. That's my advice. Go get a banana, shove it in your penis, dock it. Docking, sexy, delicious. And bananas are delicious as well. So like when a guy blows you, he's getting that banana sensation, which is your cock. All right, that was the viewer mail. That was a success. There was conviction there. I was like pumped. I was ready to do it. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yes. Obviously, that wasn't me yesing to having sex with the cheering kids. Oh, that was what? That was odd. Yeah. So, well, that's the end of the viewer mail. Thank you, Andrew. I hope I solved your problem. My brother from another mother. That brings us to the end of the show. Check us out on the Discord and the Reddit. I do another podcast, The Writers Daily, if you like to listen to something just as, in fact, it's the same show almost, except it's about my life. It's a lot more personal. So what do I plug? What are the things that Julius Reed generally plugs? Send us a viewer mail, of course. They're NeverFapDeluxe@gmail.com. Check out the website, NeverFapDeluxe.com. And look after your mental health. Leave us a good review. If you like the show, leave a review, It does me wonders. Gets me hard. I'm putting it out there. It gets me hard. Have a safe day.